Hello students, meet again with me Sir William. In this science topic for today is about forces atau tentang gaya. Now open your Hodder science book, Unit 8, page 132 until 145. Oke, silakan buka buku Hodder science Anda, Unit 8, pada halaman 132 sampai 145. Let's get started.
What is a force? Force is any interaction that can cause an object with mass to experience a change in motion, either in the form of direction or geometric construction. Types of forces. 1. Magnetic force. 2. Applied or motion force. 3. Gravity force. 4. Spring force. 5. Friction force. 6. Electricity force. Magnetic force is the force with which a magnet pulls certain materials towards itself. Example of the magnetic force is a nail that is held close to the magnet will move and stick to the magnet. An applied force is a force that is applied directly to an object by a person, animal, or thing. Example: an ox pulling a cart and wind pushing a wind turbine are applied forces. Gravity force is the force with which the Sun, Earth, and Moon pull objects towards themselves. Gravity makes objects that you drop fall to the ground. Example of gravity force is that it can cause objects to fall down or humans can set foot on Earth because of the force of gravity. Spring force is the force generated by objects that are elastic in nature. Example of spring force is arching a bow or playing with a pulled rubber. Friction force is an invisible force. It slows down movement when two surfaces are touching. The roughness of the surface slows down the movement of an object. An example of friction force is rowing a bicycle on the highway and pushing a table or cupboard. Electric force is the force experienced by a charged object in an electric field. An example of the electric force is a fan because it can change the electric force into motion, and house lights because it can change the electric force into light. Mass. Mass is different to weight. Mass is the amount of material in an object. We measure mass in grams and kilograms. Weight. The weight of an object is the force pulling down on it. The heavier an object is, the more force is pulling it down. This makes it more difficult to move. Example: when we throw a stone, it will fall back down, the earth. It happens because there are two objects that influence each other, namely the earth and a small stone. Movement forces. When a force acts on an object, it often makes it move faster or in a different direction. Once something is moving, you don't need a force to keep it moving, it will carry on moving all by itself unless another force stops it. When a rocket blasts into space, you need a force to make it lift off to begin with and to overcome the force of Earth's gravity. But once the rocket is in space, it will carry on moving all by itself until and unless another force stops it. Changing the shape of objects. Some material stay in the changed shape even after the forces have been removed is called a plastic object. An example is butter, copper wire, and glass. Some material return to the shape they were when the force is removed is called an elastic object. An example is balloon, rubber, and spring. Well, students, that's all for our science topic today. I hope you always stay safe and keep social distancing. Thank you for your attention.